There are things in your house that are killing your memory. So here's just a small list of 5 of them, okay? First off, this one's going to surprise you. It's essentially sugar, and as a larger term, junk food. So candy, sugar, sweets has long been tied to Alzheimer's. In fact, it goes way back to Ronald Reagan when he got Alzheimer's and he was obsessed with jelly beans. Scientists thought there might be some connection, but now we do know the connection is actually very, very clear. We know that there's some bacteria in our gut biome that actually makes its way into the blood. It actually makes it past the blood-brain barrier. So there's little creepy crawlies in your brain. I hope that doesn't creep you out, but everyone's got them, so relax. And they're actually quite helpful. Most of your biome, most of the sympathetic bacteria in your body is very helpful to do things like digestion and everything else. But the problem is if you feed it a bunch of sugar, there's particular strains of these biome microbes that they just go crazy on the stuff and they start growing and expanding, and then that's where it can be a problem. Your immune system can't tackle it, and the belief is, this is not 100% proven yet, but the belief is that the immune system tries to get rid of these microbes, and it can't do it, so it uses beta amyloid and creates the plaques and tangles, essentially accidentally, if you will, damaging parts of the brain by trying to clean it up. So that's the belief. A good colleague of mine, a good friend, Dr. Perlmutter, wrote a great book called Grain Brain about how flour plays a large role in this. So our obsession with flour and pasta depending on where you're from, and sugar and sweets. All this stuff is just basically concentrated energy for this bacteria. So really limit that. Limit your sweets, limit your junk food in general. Number 2 is excitotoxins. So we want to get rid of sugar, so what do? We turn to aspartame or something like that, right? Or sugar substitutes. Or we use things like monosodium glutamate to make things taste better. Well, I'm sorry to say, these things are considered excitotoxins. And I say it with a heavy heart because I am totally addicted to aspartame. I love it. As far as we know, the data shows right now that at least aspartame is healthier than sugar. Sugar is much more damaging to the body in a number of ways, pound for pound, than aspartame is. So it's not this crazy mystery ingredient that's going to be toxic to you. It's really a matter of dosages. So if you have a little bit here and there, just like sugar, it should be okay. Mix it in, have a very healthy diet, but do a little research on what excitotoxins are. The theory is that it excites some brain cells so much that they die on you. The third thing that's in your house that's probably killing you is your freaking couch. And what I mean by that is you're sitting on your butt too much. You're probably sitting down at work a lot, and then when you get home, you're sitting down. If you're a gamer, you're sitting down, or you're in your computer, you're sitting down, or on your phone, you're sitting down. Just ways to prevent any sort of memory loss or brain loss. Everybody asks me about things like ginkgo biloba and other supplements, and you know what all these brain supplements actually do? All these supplements actually just increase blood flow. And exercise increases blood flow more than anything else. So get off the couch, okay? So put down the bag of chips, put down the sugar, and get off the couch. Big surprise that this is health advice, right? So number 4 might surprise you. It's air quality. Air quality is really important. I have HEPA filters going on in my house at all times to get rid of particulate matter, but it's really the type of particulates that are a problem. So if you're living in the city, there's going to be a lot of carbon in the air from cars driving by, things like that. That'll seep into your house, believe it or not, and that can be bad for your lungs and bad for your respiration. But what's really bad for your brain are the gases. So we're talking carbon monoxide. You have to have sensors to make sure that they're all good. If you use gas appliances, you have to make sure they're up to date and clean. Otherwise, you could be breathing in some of the gas, and that's not good for your brain in any quantity. But more than that, though, even things like nail polish remover, and nail polish has acetone in it. Acetone tricks the brain into thinking you're breathing in oxygen, so you don't breathe in as much, and you can actually have a deficit of oxygen. There's been a ton of studies on people who work in these nail salons. If you're walked into one of these nail salons and you're hit by this wave of smell, that's acetone in the air, and you're depriving your brain of oxygen if you're involved in that. So if you've got a teenage daughter who's closed the door to the bathroom and she's doing her nails, make sure the fan's on, otherwise she could be hurting her brain. Mineral spirits as well, some varnishes, things like that. Just be aware of some of the things that degas quite a bit around the house. Now, number 5 is heavy metals. So this is where you want to test your water. You want to test for lead, for any sort of heavy metals. But more than that, though, they're actually heavy metals in surprising places. I talked about air quality. Well, there can be heavy metals in paint. We all know that lead was used as an additive for paint as early as the 1970s. We think that wasn't a long time ago, but most houses were built before then. If you're not in a brand new house, you could have lead paint in your house. If it is painted over, then that's what's called encapsulated, so you're fine. But if it's not painted over, if it's exposed to the air, you might think, well, that's not a problem. I'm not going to chew on my furniture. I'm not going to chew on the walls, so who cares if it's on the walls? What happens is it creates dust. Everything creates dust. So when it turns into dust, those particles actually get into the air, and that is the number one way that lead gets into your body, is by turning into dust particles. And having a little air filter around will get rid of that and take care of that. So an air filter, a water filter, I think are absolutely essential things in today's day and age. Now, I'm going to add a bonus one, number 6. The sixth thing I think that you should have in your house, so this is more of a should have in your house to prevent memory loss, is some sort of novel brain training. I've done brain training for 20 years, and it's absolutely fantastic. It cuts your risk for Alzheimer's by up to 50%, according to studies. Very good studies, by the way. I talk about it in another video. And if you do brain hacks on a regular basis, you'll be smarter, you'll sleep better. There's a whole bunch of other benefits. I'd like to propose my book. If you're looking for one, Brain Hacker, this has come out recently. It has 55 different brain hacks, and it goes into all sorts of things, even things like how to sleep better, brain hacks for sticking to your diet, and improving your IQ, improving your charisma, all sorts of really cool stuff in here. Check out Brain Hacker. There'll be a link in the comments, and like and subscribe for some more. I talk about memory in the brain. I'm a 2-time Guinness World Record holder for memory, and I've been a best-selling author multiple times on the subject. So yeah, maybe I might have a few tips for you.